Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First off, I'm going to start up with saying all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakatadash.
That's all praises to the one called God, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh. Ba'ashem being in the name, Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, peace and mercy to the hopeful elect preachers, word and truth and sincerity. With the brothers in the Arizona camp, Lord willing, with another week to come together during the week and prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great. And what you've seen is prophecy coming out, man. You know, the times are getting harder. More and more inflation is hitting, right? And they're starting to shut down shit even for the rich of this world, man. This brother had an article and builds in perfectly to one of the scriptures we're going to get. We just going to flow the spirit. Can you start with that Revelation first?
Alright, so the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 10, and it says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai, worship the Most High, for the testimony, since for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy.
The testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. So that's how you know if the spirit really dealing with you. Are you going to hear prophecies? That shows you that the Lord is really dealing with you. And a lot of men don't fully go into prophecies, and all they talk about is the law, the law, the law. Yep. IUIC being one of the main people, and when they do go into prophecy, they start touching on stuff. It's always off, right? But the true worshipers, right, the true men that are serving the Lord, the scriptures tell you that the Lord is going to set watchmen upon his towers that shall never hold their peace day nor night, right? And so we're constantly looking out at the news and seeing what things are tied into prophecy. And go ahead and read that article. This ties in, man. The Lord's trying to affect these people.
It says, it's on the Washington Post. It says Arizona City cuts off a neighborhood's water supply amid drought. It says Scottsdale, Arizona, which if you've never been to Arizona, Scottsdale was one of them places where, you know, you're uncomfortable to ride through. You know what I mean? Of how much, you know, Edomites are out there and how much wealth and power that they have just throughout Arizona. It's one of them high, wealthy type areas that these nations dwell in. Okay? It says the survival, or
this would be like Arizona's version of Manhattan, right? Hella money.
Or Beverly Hills or something like that in California. The survival, or at least the basic sustenance of hundreds in a desert community amid the horse ranches and golf courses outside Phoenix rests on a 54-year-old man with a plastic bucket of quarters.
And this isn't like far out in the boonies, bro. This is still within city limits, man. You can get right to downtown Phoenix in like 20, 30 minutes. You know? So this ain't like it's somewhere in a rural part of the world and shit. This is within city limits, and they're sitting there cutting off water to a place like that with that much wealth, man. Yeah. Right? That's big, because the Lord is starting to top down on what these people have in this world, man. Give me that Isaiah 5 and 9.
Isaiah 5 verse 9 reads, In my ears, said the Most High host, of a truth many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair without inhabitant.
So when the water gets cut off, you think they're going to be able to stand out there? Right? And these Edomites, bro, they are out there. They got all them golf courses. They got all them fucking houses. A lot of those houses might be sitting on wells, which those wells were already starting to run dry. So they started sitting there and switching their stuff over to, you know, city plumbing and stuff like that. They're not even doing the water deliveries out there to those well houses. That's expensive, man. Yeah. To have money, to have water come in for them to fill your well or to fill out water tanks in there, that's expensive, bro. And all this rain that we're getting, people don't even think about. They keep talking about how the water level rose and all that stuff, but really, the water level might rise a little bit. It's not as much as they're saying, because a lot of sediment starts to come off and flow down in the water and causes water displacement. So now the water looks like it's rising when they ain't even measuring how much displacement was going into the water. Yeah. Right. So it's not as good as they think they're saying it is. But many houses, even great and fair, right? And those are some fair ass houses are gonna dwell without inhabitant, man, right? It might start off by the Lord sending drought and making people shuffle around, and it might start off by hell, all hell kicking off, and people running out of their fucking houses. It's all gonna be here, man.
Yeah, and it's all prophesied in the Bible, man, because people understand that water is a life source, and it's also the main ingredient in a lot of things, man. You know, Edomites they like to be merry and they like to drink wine, and they like to drink beverages. You know, that's part of their whole culture, man, to be drunkards.
Yeah.
You know, so without that water, guess what? You don't have a lot of those alcoholic beverages, man. But I got this right here, Isaiah 24 and 7. It says, "The new wine mourners, the vine languages, all the merry-hearted do sigh." That's gonna affect you Edomites, man. Yeah. In those rich communities, because that's all you're about is folly and vanity. And when the Lord takes that away, you know, what you gonna do when the Lord dries up your golf courses, man? You know, because drought's coming. Drought's part of the famine. Yep. It's part of a prophecy. It's part of Jacob's trouble. It's part of all the hell that's gonna come to America. Keep on going. So the mirth of tabrets ceases. The noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp ceases. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And so that's going to be one of the effects of drought, man. Yeah. And famine. You know, you're already seeing a steady increase in groceries. Yeah. You know, and it's gonna come to the point where do you want to pay your light bill or do you want to eat?
Yeah. You know, and them Edomites got so cold. Yeah. The Edomites got so cold. They frame, like the scripture says, they frame iniquity by law. Right? They sat there and put up all those clubs over in Scottsdale put up rules for the club saying no retro sneakers. Yeah. So you think they was doing this shit for Jake? Yeah. They didn't want niggas out there.
Yeah, because Jake was the retro sneakers.
So they were putting up shit like that so they keep you niggas away.
And that's Esau's history because if you look at the history of Esau, he makes communities where you niggers and spigs can't move into. Yeah. And he does it by price control, man. Yeah. You know, he wants to keep out the undesirables.
It's not an article, it's a video on TikTok. My woman was showing me the video because she got TikTok and shit, and it tells you the establishment of how Esau was doing it when they were segregated from Jake. And what happened was, it's a term or a slogan used. It's called "other side of the track." So what happens is that you got two different sides, right? You got the suburban side and you got the hoods, the ghettos. Well, Jake was dwelling in the ghettos. They couldn't get loans for houses. They couldn't get anything, right? And the houses weren't even worth shit to get loans for, right? But the bank wouldn't give Jake no loans, but they were giving Edomites. Not only were they giving Edomites loans, they were giving them loans, loans that they wouldn't even qualify to get, so to speak, to help them, establish. And the houses were they were accumulating so much wealth that if you bought a house for $100,000, and over the years, it went up to $300,000, $400,000. You'll take that difference and go get a bigger house. Yeah. But by that time, they was getting the difference from their house appreciating. Then they had passed the law for Jake to be able to get these house loans. But then now Jake is getting house loans for $400,000, $500,000 houses when y'all was getting the same houses for $100,000. Right. So Jake is starting in debt. Yeah. Not only that, those houses that they were getting, they was bringing around a lot of businesses. Which would keep money in the area. They wasn't setting up businesses in Jake neighborhood. So a lot of Jake be like, well, now we're equal, but okay, cool. If you give anybody a head start in the race, it's likely that person that has a head start, depending on how much of a head start it is always going to win the race. Yeah. And that's a direct example of what they were doing. Now you see everything backlashing on you Edomites, man, because scripture said what? That you should build, but the Lord is going to throw down, man.
Hey, that's, what is that, Deuteronomy 30? These curses calls to fall upon thy enemies. Yeah. I think it's Deuteronomy 30 and 30, I think. But that's what's happening, man.
I got it.
The curse is coming.
Yes, Deuteronomy 30.
It's more like article 2.
In verse 7. and it says, and the Lord Yahweh will put all these curses upon thine enemies.
Yeah.
It says, and on them that hate thee.
Who
Which
hated,
person?
who hated us? Psalms 83rd chapter.
Yep.
So now all the heathen are starting to get the same shit, right? You go to them niggas in China, them Moabites, they're catching hell.
Bad.
Right? Over there in the UK, them motherfuckers is worried about freezing them fucking down.
Hey, and you can't, and niggas, I'll just say this real quick. Niggas and Spicks, man, you so hooked on, destroying each other, right? And hooked on that everybody should be one. But when these nations, like when you go to Dearborn, Michigan, and you see these Ishmaelites, and when they don't get their way, they band up together and go to the capital of the city or go to the downtown of the city and tear up shit, right? Until they get their way. But those same Ishmaelites, those same Moabites, those same Ammonites, those same Elamites, those same Edomites, right? When they see niggas going through what they're going through, they don't do the same thing, man.
Which is a jump off.
Right, which goes to show you that they're not for us, man.
Yeah.
Scripture said that they are our enemies, man. When something happened to them, they do shit until they get a change, and they ain't from here. Them motherfuckers migrated over here. We got kidnapped and came over here, man, and still don't get no rule, still don't get no law for us. Shit, everything is going against us, man. And you motherfuckers want to join hand with these heathen, right? As if they have our best interests, but they don't. Because again, when shit happened to Jake, and shit happened to Jake every day. When shit happened to Jake, those heathen don't do anything, man. But when shit happens to them, they do everything until it doesn't happen again.
And though you want to sit here and say the devil and he's fucking heathen, the Lord's the one that's putting the judgment on him. Read that again, Baba Kasha.
It's from the book of Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7. And it says, and the Lord Yahweh will put all these curses upon thine enemies.
Yeah.
It says, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
Because the Lord requires that which passed, man. Why do you think the Lord's flipping these curses on their enemies? Because they put the fucking curse on us. The Lord used them to put the curse on us, right? Though the scriptures tell you Edom should have never even laughed or looked upon us in the day of our captivity, right? In the day we ended up going down, right? So now shit's turning and shit's flipping, and now they catching hell. And it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Because though Jake is out here, Jake is gonna be fucking going through it, man. Right? Food prices are going through the fucking roof, man. I saw the video of the elder Amawan Gabar, right? Or the brother Amawan Gabar in New York put up. He said he shot a video up there where they had eggs was selling for $79.99.
What?
Right? What the fuck do you think that's gonna do to food for Jake? Right? That means all that processed shit they use eggs, that shit's gonna go up. Every little thing is gonna fucking increase, and that goes into Revelation where it talks about a measure of wheat for a penny and a measure of barley for a penny. That penny's a day's wage. You're gonna have to spend a whole fucking check just for a little bit of food for maybe 2 days. That's how bad it's gonna get, man.
Hey, they really did a trial run of that. Was it 2 years ago? Was it Brazil or something?
Yeah, Brazil.
They did that where they drastically increases the price of everything, man.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? There was absolute chaos over there. People eating rotten meat.
Yeah.
People eating each other.
Hey, you have doctors digging in the trash cans. You have those female doctors out there digging in the trash can for food in the morning. Had a whole practice.
And so those scenarios are coming here to America, man. And this is all prophecy. So Esau knows what he's doing, man. He has trial runs on things.
Yeah.
He had a trial run on food price increase over there in South America. He had a trial run on this C-hip, this MOTB, in the form of those inoculations. So he's testing things out, man, because he's making chess moves. Well, he's doing all through the left hand side, but through the Heavenly Father. Mm-hmm. But this all goes to prove that prophecy is getting fulfilled. The words of this book are being fulfilled, man. I'm gonna get this Jeremiah 25 and 13, and it says, "And I will bring upon that land all my words I pronounce against it, even all that is written in the book." But Jeremiah prophesied against all the nations. So not just the book of Jeremiah, the whole entire Bible, man. The Lord is going to accomplish what He set out to do. The Scripture said that His words will come back void.
Yeah.
So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai, the men of the Lord out there in the highways and hedges have put the vibration of prophecy, man. And that vibration of prophecy is having an effect, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is Psalms 50 and 20. It says, "Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Though thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes." And you heathen have been getting away with what you've been getting away with for so long that you think that the Lord don't have an answer for what you've been doing. To where these heathen have fully justified in their mind that what they're doing can't be wrong. Our injustice against the true biblical Israelites isn't wrong. I got you. You got it.
This is Zechariah 11, and I'll start at 4. It says, "Thus say Yahweh, my power, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not." Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, brother's right on point, man. The own shepherds pity them not. Okay, but these people, what? They think that they're so arrogant in their ways, and they've been getting away with it in their mind for so long that they don't think it's going to be an answer for their wrongdoing. But scriptures say that it is going to be an answer for your wrongdoing. It says, "Now consider this. I'm going to start back at 21. It says, "These things hast thou done, and I kept silence, though thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes." And that's what you see now. That's why you got men like us on the highways and byways teaching and preaching his word. Not just that, but doing videos week in and week out. Okay? Lifting up the banner and exposing America for what it is. And it's getting so bad now to where you got to use different nicknames for these people. That's how you know that they listen. Right? Because they wouldn't offended, and if we wasn't telling the truth, they wouldn't take our videos off. They wouldn't strike us. We wouldn't have to use different inside jokes and different names so we can get it amongst ourselves to hide who we're talking about. It's a quote in the world that says, if you want to figure out who runs everything, figure out who you cannot talk about. Okay? And there's a certain group of people that we can't talk about. That's how you know they run everything, man. But the Lord is going to show you heathen what it is, man, because when you go to Revelation 13:9-10, it says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." And you guys did both, man. And you still benefit off the backs of us to this day to where your children, right, live comfortably, to where you live comfortably without doing nothing, man. And you're proud of that, man. Shows no integrity on your part. Okay? And it's going to be you guys are going to have to pay double for what you've done. Okay?
God, it's Psalm 7:16. It says, "His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate." Going back to the brother mentioning the book of Revelation, he that leads into captivity shall be led into captivity, man. So you Edomites, you're gonna get paid for the atrocities that you have committed against the so-called Black, Latino, Native American, man. Because like the brother said, man, you thought that the Lord was dealing with you. Well, he was dealing with you. He was dealing with you to fulfill prophecy and to be a sword unto Jacob, man. Because they had a thing called manifest destiny, where they had in their mind the Lord must be with them, to take America, and the Lord was with them in the killing of the Native Americans and the statement of the so-called black man and the breaking of the treaties with the so-called Mexican lands. The Lord was with you, man, and it was all to fulfill prophecy. But what they don't understand is that the latter part of that prophecy is your destruction, man. We always like to bring up the scripture in the Apocrypha. Jacob is Esau, the end of the world. Jacob, the beginning that follows, man. So you got to understand the second part of prophecy, like the other Malcolm says. There's a part 2 to manifest destiny, man, and that part 2 is the destiny of Yahweh Shai coming back and establishing righteousness upon the earth in the form of destroying and enslaving you Edomites, man.
This is Zechariah or Ezekiel 35 and 11. It says, "Therefore, as I live, say Yahweh, power, I will even do according to my anger and according to thine envy, according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee." It says, "And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, They are laid desolate, they are given us to consume." And this is how Esau thinks, man. right? So every law, everything that came up against it, even now, right? These devils, when they go to Davos, when the World Economic Forum gets together, right? They look at you like you're giving them consume, right? They look at Jake like that, like, man, fuck these niggas. They below us. We got a right. It's our right. It's our God-given right to put these niggas in chains.
Yeah.
That's how they look at you, right? Even these fucking cops, you're running a mill fucking cracker down the street, right? Eating the same fucking Hebrew national hot dog as you, right? On that same dry ass bun, looks at you like nothing, man. Because in their mind, you are put on earth for them to put their fucking foot in your back, right? This is how they think, man. And now their shit's unfolding. Now they're worried. Oh man, maybe these niggas might get up right on me, right? Like this, it's in their mind. It's in their mind. That's why they're so hostile when they get around.
And the proof of that is that whole Karen shit, man.
Yeah.
That where these white fucking bitches, they thought that they can talk to anybody any fucking way they feel like it, by just because of their status in society, man. As a white woman, you know. So there's a lot of videos of these Karens where they're just talking down to Jake.
Yeah.
You know, they're just talking down to Jake like they can.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's their God-given right to put you in your fucking place.
Yeah.
And not just that, they lie on you. They did it at Tammy too. That was a Karen that did that, and they came out years later after they didn't beat the man, they didn't kill them, they didn't, you know what I mean? They did all kind of shit.
Disfigured his face.
Disfigured him, right? It's images on Google you can look at for her to only come out years later to say that, oh, he never did that.
Yeah. Hey, what proves that too is like when you go into these devils' economic policies and everything, and you go into the military policies. Whenever they was doing experiments on Jake in the U.S., even within the ages where they're supposed to be held accountable, like they were spraying, I think it was St. Louis, they were spraying chemicals throughout the city that was causing people to get cancer, and it was found out that years later that this was a military experiment that they did on the civilization without knowing. None of those people that were a part of those things, those experiments that were conducting that shit, none of them were brought up on charges. None. But you got a nigga like R. Kelly that piss on a bitch and they keep him in a fucking hole and then get him years later so women are mad because they ain't get a cut of the money like they're supposed to. They rake that nigga over the coals. Right? But somehow them same niggas that was over there killing a bunch of people, getting them cancer, they didn't get brought up on charges. What the fuck is that? These devils have this in their mindset, man.
They did the same thing to Issachar working in the fields. They would spray pesticides while they were working in the fields because it saved them money, man.
Yeah.
And then the side effect with that was children born with sicknesses and diseases and cancers and so on and so forth, man.
And the women weren't able to have kids anymore. Yeah.
Hey, so this devil, man, he don't give a fuck about you, man.
Yeah.
You know, the scripture says never trust thine enemy.
Yeah.
So Jake, like your brother mentioned out, you know, you always quick to side with the devil because you think that to be equal with him is to be as good as he is, man.
Yeah.
But what you don't know is that you're the superior people.
Yeah.
You're the one that's supposed to be ruling over him.
Yeah. They're fucking below us, man. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I get around eating mice, bro. You're fucking below me.
Yeah, you know they can feel that on you. I used to deal with a lot of them, man, when I used to work in the car business, man.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers have money, some of them, man. And a lot of them are privileged, man. And the simple fact that I didn't bow to them, you know, I looked them in the eye. They don't like that shit, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I had this one dude, he might be a terror, I don't know, but he was like, man, I could tell, you know, customers get irritated with you because we all could tell you don't like white people. I've never said I didn't, but just my spirit is like, because everybody bowed down to these motherfuckers, but they're cowards, man. These are the same dudes that be wearing thongs and shit and doing all kind of freak shit behind closed doors. Like, why be in there? And when you in this truth, man, you get to see their natures for what they is, man.
Right.
And it's you vibrate on a different level than the average 2/3 nigga out there, because the average 2/3 nigga out there still worship these white people. You got Birdman, right, who is a nigga with a successful music company and has a lot of money. But when you listen to an interview, he says, these white people gave me this. These white people gave me this much money. These white people, NBA Youngboy, right, he was like, you mad? Because when you got a job, them white people didn't give you nothing. Why? But you see the condition how a nigga just view white people as their God.
Yeah.
And they're nothing.
They ain't shit, man. They're just like the idols they fucking serve. They ain't shit. We're above them.
Yeah, when a man is in his righteousness, that's the most intimidating to the white man.
Yeah.
When a so-called black, when a man of the truth, you know, Israelite man is in his righteousness, you know, when he has a moral standard, when he has a sense of integrity, when he has a backbone, that's very intimidating to the Edomite man, because in his spirit, he knows that when the Most High is with you, that you're above him, man.
Yeah.
You know, he knows that, and he knows in his spirit that he's a vile person. You know, they know that, man, and they know that they can't maintain any type of righteousness or integrity. But when they see an Israelite man, a so-called black or Native American that has a power of the spirit to do that,
They get nervous.
they get nervous, bro.
Yeah, they don't know how to handle it, man. Cause you ain't seen, hey, like in Django, when you say you are that one in a million, bro. We are that, we that one, man. We are that what the Lord made us that one. This is Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Above everybody, man. So fuck these heathen, man. We're not doing this about color. The Lord made us better than you. Right? That's the thing people don't understand.
Yeah.
That's why we born different. We don't give a fuck about what this world does. The shit that these people claim and put in this high stature, man, we don't put that shit on that level because we know we serve the highest one of all those things, man.
That's right.
So we better than you, bro. We got the words of the Lord, not you. We didn't get it of our own, man. We were blessed even to have what we have. But y'all fucking below us no matter what, man. Grab that one and then I'll pass it off.
This is 2 Ezra 6. I'll start at 54. And it says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, it says of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
So everybody comes from Adam, but then there's a people from those people that came from Adam. That's the chosen, man.
That's right.
Who's that? It's the Israelites, man. Nobody else has that acclaim. The Lord never came to Ishmael and said, hey man, I'm gonna deal directly with you. No, he gave him his blessing and told him to fucking push on. Go over there with your mama Hagar, get the fuck out my face.
Yeah, go worship a rock.
Yeah.
Go walk around that rock over there in Mecca.
Yeah, he said, go kick rocks and pray to it, nigga. That's but the Lord said, hey, what nation is so great that I have the Lord so nigh unto them as Israel, man. No nation. Only Israel have that favor, man. Got to finish that up.
Verse 55, and it says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Thou madest the world for our sake, not nobody else's. Right? So the things that are in the world, whose sakes do you think is made for too? Even people's. Y'all made for our sake. Y'all fucking below us, man. Right? And we're coming back to the time where the Lord's raising us up and the Lord is putting fucking heathen down simultaneously, man. It's beautiful. This is the time we've been waiting for, man. When all hell kicks off, hey, the Lord's gonna feed us, he's gonna starve y'all out, man.
One more.
Go ahead.
Verse 56, it's to prove the point on how the other nations, how they are as nothing. Verse 56 says, as for the other people, right? So the other people that are not chosen, it says, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They are nothing.
Nothing.
But be like unto spittle,
Yeah.
like spit, man. All right. And it says, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Yeah. And so these Edomites like to say that, well, we're all sons of Adam, so we're all children of the Lord. No, what you don't understand is that from Adam came Noah, from Noah came Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and from Shem, Ham, and Japheth came all the nations, and from that came only a chosen seed, you know, through Shem. You know that name Shem means in the name, you know. So from that lineage, there was a certain lineage or bloodline that the Lord blessed.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's right, man.
And you got to be real peon-minded to think that these heathen hate you based off your skin color. It's not about the skin color.
No.
It's not about because you darker than him. It's deeper than that. They use that as a cover up, but really their spirit don't like you because they're not made to like us. They're not made any of these nations. Some of these Elamites be darker than Africans, man.
Yeah.
You know, some of these Elamites be darker than him, man, and they treat him.
These Ishmaelites look like so-called Mexicans sometimes. Man.
Yeah. So it ain't got shit to do with how much melanin is in your skin or not, man. On the reasons why they hate you. It don't got shit to do with that, man, because they know who you are deep down in their skin. A lot of these heathens that live in those other countries, like in the Middle East, they know who we are, man.
Mm-hmm.
They know what it is. It seems like every other country know more than who we are than America do. But America has the biggest judgment because this is where you try to erase our history, man. And say, oh, this is white Jesus. This is who you worship. Blonde hair, blue eye. When in the scriptures, they don't say nothing about a man that look like that.
Hey, what's that quote from that Middle Eastern dude? He said the Jews, they were black, but they came white.
Hitler.
No,
Egyptian.
it's the Egyptian president.
Oh, yeah?
Egyptian, yeah.
Okay.
How he turned white.
So yeah, like his brother said, they know who we are, man. They know who the true Israelites of the Bible are, man. You know, they know that it's the so-called Black Latino Native American. The histories are there, but they're kept secret.
Yeah.
You know, they got records of these things, man. But you know, they try to destroy them. You know, when you know they got that Vatican library where they got armed guards up in front of it, man. You know, also when the Spaniards came to the Americas, they burned a lot of those books. But they burned down the libraries of the Mayan Aztec people, man. I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the sons of, you know, the book of Lost Tribes and Promised Lands, they describe themselves as the sons of Joseph. You know what I'm saying? And so what was Joseph's son? What of Joseph's son was Ephraim? He's the leader of the northern kingdom. You know, so they knew who they were. You know, they knew who they were at one point, but the Lord, like I said, the scripture says, he discontinued from their heritage, man. But these other nations, they know who we are, and at least they know who we are, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is Jeremiah 49 and 10. It says, "But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me." This is 12. It says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it." So you're going to drink of the cup as well. Okay, this is 13. It says, "For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord Yahweh, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be a perpetual waste." Which your modern day Basra is America, man. Okay, you Edomites are going to pay, man. Okay, for everything that you've done, man. You know, when you go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, it gives you the breakdown of the top heathen or the higher ups in this world, man. It gives you the breakdown of their mind, man, and how they think, man. It shows you that they use their law to justify themselves, and they don't even follow their law. You know, but you got to be arrogant to remove God's law and set up your own law, and then still say, "Oh, I'm gonna have heaven on the other side." That's not the case, man. Okay, Scripture say what? That the first shall be last, and the last shall be first, man. When you look at the bottom people on the planet Earth, it's the so-called black man, so-called Native American man, and so-called Latino man. These are the nations, and then these are the targeted nations, man, that you other nations. These are the targeted people that you other nations try to target and gain off of, man. And really you really want to wipe us out, man. But you can't wipe us out, man. Because even when you go back to the time when we were in Egypt, right, it says what? The more y'all put affliction on us, the more we grew. You know what I mean? So you can't wipe out Israel. You got Israelites that look like other nations, man. You know? So you can't wipe out Israel, man. Israel is the sand of the sea, man.
Yeah, I had some more that I was reading.
After now I was gonna finish this article.
Go ahead. Go to it.
This is back in that article. It says the lone water hose at a remote public filling station sputtered to life and splashed 73 gallons into the steel tank of Horn. I think his last name is Hornuer's water's hauling truck. After 2 minutes of stop, Hornuer, one of the two main suppliers responsible for delivering water to a community of more than 2,000 homes, known as Rio Verde Foothills, fished out another quarter. And he said, it so shouldn't be like this. Hornor said. And when you look deeper into this article, right, it goes to tell you that these Edomite neighborhoods, they're trying to sue the city, man. You know what I mean? They're trying to sue the city, as if the city is responsible for the water shortage, which really Esau's is, because the earth is given into the earth is, is under the wicked right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're trying, but it shows you how arrogant they are. I'm gonna sue the city. Okay, suing the city ain't gonna get you water. Okay, it says some living here and amid the cactus and creosote bushes see themselves as the first domino to fall as the Colorado River tips further into crisis.
Hey, peep this. So there are over 370 golf courses in Arizona. How the fuck are there 370 golf courses in Arizona in a sport that has way less people doing it? Because really, the only people really only go golfing are the people that are pretty damn well off. Right? So there's 370 golf courses.
Yeah.
Only designated for people that are well the fuck off. Like one golf club driver costs fucking $800.
Hey, bro, I was just about to say that, bro.
Plus, you gotta pay for the memberships to play on these courses.
Yep.
So it costs money to play golf, man. That's why it's known as a rich man's sport.
Yep.
Clubs are expensive, bro.
Yeah.
It says on January 1st, the city of Scottsdale, which gets the majority of its water from the Colorado River, cut off Rio Verde foothills from the municipal water supply that it has relied on for decades. Okay, and this goes to show, and this is not going to be the only cutoff as far as water. It's going to go, if we start in Scottsdale where the money at, what about where the money not?
Yep.
What about the neighborhoods that don't have the money
Yeah.
and the ability or the time to sue the city? You know what I mean? If this starting in Scottsdale, so it's a domino effect. I mean, hit the biggest. It's like somebody's older brother get into a fight, and then you got the older brother, you got the little brother, and the older brother get knocked out. How the little brother gonna look at it? How the little brother gonna feel? So if you got the richest neighborhoods getting knocked up as far as water supply, when you go down to the hoods, it's over with. But what a lot of you Edomites and heathen don't know is Jake know where the money at, man. Jake know ain't no money in this neighbor house, so where he gonna go? Back to where y'all at to get some supplies.
Yeah, they showed that in the first Purge movie, man.
Yeah.
They showed the Jay going to the rich neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Because they knew that's where the goods was at, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the valuables, man. They got the gold, the pearls, fucking, got all the watches and shit, got the cars. And
Hey, the first thing you see when Edomites get offended, they show every gun that they have. But you only can shoot one of them motherfuckers.
they got two arms, bro.
I got AR-15s, I got an AK, I got this Glock, I got this, I got that. You got 80 guns in the house, but only can shoot one of them. And it might be 15 Jakes outside, you might not get out one bullet. Showing you that they're prideful, and their pride is within their artillery, their guns and all that. But that shit ain't gonna be able to save you. And this is what they're relying on. But the scriptures is what we're relying on, man. Because if you Sirach 2 and 10, look at the generations of old. Did the Lord forsake any man that believed in him, that called upon his name, that worshiped him in spirit and truth? No. Even though it looked dark at sometimes, the Lord always came through, man.
St. Matthew 15:15, for the sword and the destruction draw nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. There should be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings or princes, and the courses of their actions should stand in the power. When the water go out and the lights turn off, it's gonna be the reality, man. I forget if it's Jeremiah or Isaiah, but it tells you that Judah's gonna be a terror to all of them that are around about, man. Why? Because these niggas is gonna be in your fucking houses.
Who's that creeping in my window?
Yeah. They gonna be at your door.
See, truly, that water is a big domino effect, bro.
Yeah.
Like restaurants. Restaurants, they legally cannot operate without any water.
Yep.
Say that's like obviously a lot of that money that's flowing into that, flowing into that city, flowing into that place, and that's basically cut off now. Say, hey, bro, restaurants, hotels, no more plumbing. Everyone say this is a big domino effect of literally just water. That also affects food too. So, hey, all it does is trickle down until it's bigger and bigger. It's basically like a snowball. All it is, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, man. And as long as there's no stopping it, it just has to happen. It's prophecy.
I got one more on this real quick. This is I'm gonna jump down to 18. It says, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but should destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right? That's, hey, all that shit comes off the back of the water, man. So this is what people are gonna have to deal with. And it's gonna get hot heavy, man. It's gonna get hot heavy. We coming into times of great tribulation, man. The time of Jacob's trouble. Right? Remember they had passed all these laws that the government could come into your house and take stuff out of your house if you've been stockpiling. So all those people, all the Edomites that were stockpiling, they're gonna come for you too. They just passed a law, or something's being voted on to have a law passed to basically make any gun with a bump stock on it automatically illegal. Even if you had it prior to the law, because before you'd be grandfathered in with that gun. But now they're trying to make it so you can't even grandfather that gun in, so that gun will automatically be illegal in your possession. You'll be considered a criminal. Hey, Esau's making shit work for him, man. Yeah, bro.
It's in the book of Revelation 18, and I'll start at verse 4. And it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath. It says, and the Most High hath. Man. It says, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. So you Jakes, man. Okay, y'all forgot, man.
Yeah.
Okay, what they put you through, and what they still put you through to this day. But the Most High has not forgotten, man. Okay, so therefore, man, this place is going to be smitten with plague and punishment. Okay, that's going to bring, total sorrow to you people, man. The scriptures say, I think it's in Luke the 6th chapter. I could be wrong, but it says, woe to you that are full now, for you shall mourn and weep. Okay, man. You fucking you heathens, man, are going to be plagued with no power, okay, and zero water. Okay, so you people are about to go fucking through it, man, because the Lord is going to bring that upon this place for punishment and for judgment's sake, man.
So well, is edifying. You say call law.
By Shimon Shai, by Shimon Shalom.
Shalom.